Welcome into the Hustle Show podcast, college basketball style, the day before the Super Bowl. Simulcast live on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer. We're talking college basketball picks before Saturday, 12 noon Eastern kickoff. Tip-off, that is. Chris Thurston, Kelly Stewart, Adam Trigger. I am Drew Martin, going around the horn. Happy Saturday morning to you. Kelly, the day before the Super Bowl, you ready?
I am ready. Actually, I got home late last night, so I just brought the packages off the porch, didn't even open anything. It was just one of those deals. And I woke up this morning to a nice case of Viva. So all of my guests will be super happy. I'm excited to get to share that with some of my really close friends, get some good feedback. As you guys know, I actually was trying to explain to one of my best friends, Stacy, this morning. And I kind of said this to one of the owners on a text with Chris, because we were talking about price points and like, what are things worth? And like, the Super Bowl, it's literally $16 for a Michelob Ultra at the fucking Super Bowl. Oops, already there's one. Also, it's pretty funny. See, I can say whatever I want. I'm the director of media relations. That's where this gets really fun. So now it becomes just a game to me if you really wanted to know. That being said, a tequila cocktail is also $16. And I'm like, who are these people getting away with it? Long story short, I was like, hey, what's our price point on Viva? What are we going to do here? This whole deal. And he's like, well, listen, he's like, yes, this is a hard seltzer, right? But it's actually a tequila cocktail in a can. And I was explaining that to my girlfriend, Stacy, and I hope that's not the wrong verbiage and I get in trouble, but it really, truly is. And so if you guys haven't tried Viva yet, I'm excited to share it with all my guests. Obviously, the grapefruit is reserved for me in about a month, if I can make it that long. I don't know if I'm going to make it that long.
You're not going to make it that long.
Well, let me say this. My liver is going to need it because Vegas is going to be a monster. I've already got people texting me, asking if they can crash our dinner party at Barry's. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think we have any room in the private room, but I'll see what I can do.
And Kelly, you're really going to throw a Super Bowl and not drink?
Yeah, I definitely am not ready to have a cocktail yet. I went fishing with my dad yesterday, brought grandma along, and they had a couple of beers, and I just honestly wasn't even tempted. I'm telling you, that 12-day stretch there did an absolute number on my mind and my body. So I'm going to at least say until I meet our friend Joe, which I believe is the 25th, they're going to be in Key West. I'm at least going to be sober until then. That, like, you can definitely take that one to the bank. Key West is going to be hard, though, to stay sober. We'll see. I'll be there for 3 or 4 days. I was going to go the whole 2 weeks. I just have way too much to do between now and Vegas. Plus, my sister decided she's going to come down and visit me. Thank you for the heads up there. And I'm definitely not going to be able to stay sober with her here.
We're picking up what you're laying down. Good start to the show here from Kelly in Vegas. Huge shout out to the chat box. Everybody joining us live. We got Paco, Healy, Tackman, Killer looking towards Yale. Trig, man, what's up in South Florida? Welcome in.
You know, I survived the flight down. Every time those things take off, I feel like they're going to crash. But last night, I texted Chris a picture from the Albany airport parking lot. Mallory and I were just hammering Vivas before the flight. So it was actually not a bad flight. For the first time, I was actually somewhat relaxed on the plane. Might have to start doing that more. But yeah, made it down here. I don't know, of course, I have to fly down here on the night Siena is knocking off Rick Pitino and Iona. I wasn't at the game, which was depressing, but love to see them get the win. And I'm having a good week finally. Ladies
maybe that's the play, Trig. Maybe you should not go to the Siena game so they can actually
not go to the games, can't watch the games, can't talk in the chat, and then I start winning. So, yep, there it is. Like, when I'm just like, I need to basically be like a miserable human being, and then I actually win bets. That's for what happens.
That sounds right. Negative vibes only, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we just got to get the shirts made.
Last week, Chris and I are trying to have fun. I don't win anything, and we get booted out of Mohegan. So, yeah, no fun.
I forgot all about that until just this moment. That is still so hilarious.
That's your recap for last Saturday. We ended up getting booted out officially. So, yeah.
All the talk about Viva here, guys. Remember the coupon code HUSTLE at the Viva website. It takes 10% off if you're ordering Vivas to your house. Any of the 48 continental 48 states here. Coupon code HUSTLE at the Viva website. And a guy that knows a little bit about Viva Tequila Seltzer, Chris Thurston, last, certainly not least. CT Betts, welcome in, buddy.
Drew Martin Betts, I think this Saturday show is the first Saturday I haven't been hungover or still drunk in probably a month and a half. So doing all right. Trig and I bet Wisconsin, Milwaukee last night. That was a winner. I gave out Xavier to my VIP clients. Drew Martin Betts, you know who my VIP clients are? The 4 of us right here. So that was good. Of course, didn't tweet it, but gave it to us. That was a winner. And then gave out Fresno on Twitter and had a great first half and shit the bed second half. So
Sounds about right.
yeah, it was a decent night on the hardwood. And this is one of my favorite weekends of the year. Really looking forward to tomorrow, and should be having plenty of Vivas today and tomorrow. So glad to be here, and hopefully we get some winners today.
Absolutely. We will have a little talk here on the Super Bowl, but mainly going about after the college basketball picks here. We got Paco saying Texas Baylor under. Right after him, Abby Jackson saying the Baylor Bears -6. We got a Baylor alum here in CT Bets. Before we get to the recap, you liking anything there? Texas Baylor CT Bets?
I've lost the last 4 out of 5 Baylor games, either playing on them or playing against them.
Fair enough.
I am staying far away from this game. When I think they're going to play well, they play like shit. And when I think they're going to play like shit, they play well. Drew Martin bets. The only thing I have for you.
So just don't be afraid to fade yourself. What do you think they're going to do today, CT? You think they're going to play well?
I think they'll have some momentum going today. I don't know. I saw Scott Drew's press conference, and he says that today might be the first day they're back whole in a long time. So that might mean that LC Cryer might play. He's missed a bunch of games in a row. So who knows? Honestly, no opinion on the game. I'm going to watch it and hope Baylor wins, but not playing the side, Drew.
Sure. I like where Paco's head's at. Texas Baylor under. I mean, both really good defenses, not a lot of pace there. That's the way I would probably go with that. That's a 12 noon Eastern tip. Nothing I fired on yet, but Paco, like where your head's at. Trig, before we get to big game rundown here, we got the recap section. Did you have enough time to go over it?
I didn't go over last Saturday's show really, but I'm going to use this section to just talk about our contest. I don't know if people have seen it so far. Little Super Bowl contest. As always, we're trying to give Viva away and give you a chance to win some Viva. So go over pretty much this is the contest. Go over to the Hustle, quote, tweet the contest link. Make sure you're following Viva, and make sure you're following the Hustle. And then the contest is pretty simple. You have to put 3 entries in. It's distance of the first field goal. I don't know why I can't find my post. It's distance of the first field goal, total number of completions, and then there is one more. It is, where is it? Oh, longest touchdown. So you're trying to hit it on the nose. And we're going to take 3 winners that hit one of those things on the nose. If no one does, we'll take closest in any category. We're going to make sure at least 3 people win. People have been enjoying the contest, winning the Viva. We love the retweets when you're drinking them. That's awesome. So keep that going. So yeah, contest for the Super Bowl. And like I said, the recap of last Saturday's show was CT and I got the official boot from Mohegan after the show. We went back out there and they were like, nope. Although we were there for a while, but they were like, no, you guys have to go. So yeah. And then I think we all had Alabama and they made one shot the entire game. So that was about this. That sums up the Saturday, but it's been great since. I'll have to say that, at least for me, it's been great since. So.
Hey, well, that's a good thing, Trig. So good to get you on a run here at WagerTalk.com. That's where you can find Trig, a lot of good free information. And that's where you can find the best free live odds in the industry. That's the WagerTalk odds screen here, guys. It is colored up right now, red, yellow, and green. That's when the numbers are changing, different times frames here. Kelly Stewart done a great job on the odds screen. But I guess one of the big games we can break down is the Auburn Tigers. Maybe not number 1 anymore with a loss to Arkansas, but they do have an early tip here against Texas A&M. 12 noon Eastern tip here, 141 being the total. -12 is what Auburn's laying in the Pearl. By the way, the Pearl is the nickname for the home stadium there, Auburn Arena. Look, I think Auburn bounces back big here, guys, off the loss to Arkansas. They also didn't look good against Georgia, but both of those games were on the road. Now they're coming back home, one of the more difficult places to play. And Texas A&M is on, a 7-game losing streak. Since coming into SEC play, they kind of got an the early games were against Georgia. Ole Miss was banged up, Missouri. So it's kind of the 3 bottom teams in the SEC at the time they played them. Since then, going up against Kentucky, Tennessee, even LSU last time out, it's kind of been double-digit losses. I think Auburn blows them out. That's the way I would go. Granted, need to throw in I am an Auburn alum, obviously rooting for him there, but lay the doubles with Auburn is the big game breakdown I would go with. So going down the list here, Trig, back to you. Do you have a big game you were looking to break down today?
Yeah, I do. And it's a noon tip. So it's one of my best bets of the day. I know no one wants to hear about this, but I like Georgetown again, and I'm taking one more shot. I can't wait to see how many people that pissed off just now. But anyway, taking one
almost
one
as
more
pissed
shot.
off as they do every time you take Siena. What can you do?
Well, I mean, they were storming the court, which is I don't like that move. You can't be storming the court against Iona, okay? Like when I was a senior,
Let
and we
the
beat
kids
Stanford
have fun. Stop
with the
being
Lopez
a
twins.
curmudgeon.
That was, but yet Siena should be beating Iona on a regular basis. That's not a court storming scenario, Cal. But anyway,
They were an underdog at home. Let them storm the goddamn court.
All right.
10-point dog.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Georgetown, listen, they've lost 12 in a row. Everyone's given up on this team. Everyone thinks they've quit. I don't think kids just quit, like, and totally give up. Like you can't tell me that these kids don't want to win a game in Big East play. They're 0-11 in Big East play. Like, there's no way that those kids are going to go out there and be like, yeah, we just don't give a shit. Like, they obviously care. They're obviously not having a good season, but they're home. And let's be honest, like Creighton, they shouldn't be a road favorite to really anyone in this conference. Creighton's an average team. They're 3-4 on the road, which isn't horrible. But, you know, the thing from a matchup perspective, the thing with Creighton, people have it ingrained in their head that Creighton is like this sort of offensive juggernaut because they've been that for so long, 3-point shooting team, what have you. Creighton's actually one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the country this year. And they're also outside the top 300 in turnovers. And if Georgetown is going to have a chance, it's going to be in a game that's sloppy and that's kind of up and down, where they can play a little bit in transition, because Georgetown can actually score in transition. They're not the worst shooting team. I mean, they're still a top 50 3-point shooting team, and they can hit jumpers. And Georgetown hasn't covered in 3 games. They also just haven't hit shots, but they can shoot it. So at some point, Georgetown's going to have a good shooting game, which they just haven't the last 3 games. And I think it's going to be here. I think that everyone is on. The only people betting this game are on Creighton. Like, everyone's given up on Georgetown. I'm going to give them one more shot. Georgetown plus the points, I think, is a great bet, and I'm gonna call it. Georgetown's going to snap their 12-game losing streak. They're going to win today. That's a noon tip. Georgetown may be storming the court, I guess. That would be really embarrassing, but you never know.
Okay, going off in 45 minutes there, looking towards Georgetown. Kelly Stewart, what do you got for a big game breakdown here, Kelly?
You know, I was trying to decide on what I really liked today, and I've been going back and forth whether it was going to be Texas or whether it was going to be TCU. As you guys know, the Big 12, it's kind of my forte in regards to college basketball. This is a Texas Tech team that I was on against Iowa, 6 weeks ago, and everybody told me I was stupid, and now I got guys on Twitter going, stop betting against Texas Tech. Well, I was on Oklahoma, and it helped me save some face on Wednesday night, but I'm going to bet against Texas Tech again. I'm going to take the Horned Frogs here in a disrespect kind of spot. Listen, TCU has been an absolute utter moneymaker. I don't really quite understand here. Look, I get it. You're getting Tech off of a loss, right? And by all means, they are a better team. But I think Jamie Dixon really has this TCU Horned Frogs team playing well. As I mentioned, they've made me a ton of money this year. They've covered 11 of their last 14. And I'm going to keep riding this team in hopes that Tech is maybe looking ahead, if you will. They have Baylor on deck on Wednesday. I think that they get past TCU. Unfortunately, I don't think TCU is going to get the win. I think they get past TCU, but I think 10.5 is just too many points, Drew. Okay,
fair enough, Kelly. Good stuff. And CT Bets, man, what do you got for big game rundown?
Drew Martin Bets, I'm going over to your conference, the SEC today. Haven't broke one of those games down in a long time. That's Florida at number 5, Kentucky. This Kentucky team, I was pretty high on at the beginning of the year, and it's not your normal Calipari team. They have some experience here. They have some veterans. It's not all freshmen. Really like the way this team is playing. Both teams are actually riding win streaks here. Florida is on a 4-game win streak, trying to extend the 5. Kentucky's on a 5-game win streak. Kentucky didn't look that great this past week. They played South Carolina. They did end up winning by 10, but they kind of scraped it together. Sevier and Washington didn't have their best games. Calipari wasn't really thrilled with the performance by the team. I honestly think this isn't my normal style, right? Laying 9.5 points with a college hoops team in division. But I really like it here. Rupp Arena, tough place to play. Gators kind of been a fade for me all year. Colin Castleton, who's leading the team, he kind of got banged up their game versus Georgia. He had to leave, hurt his shoulder. He did come back, but I don't think he's going to be 100%. I think Rupp Arena, 4:00 Eastern game, is going to be rocking and rolling Drew Martin bets. And I expect Ty Washington and Xavier to go off today, win by double digits. I think you're getting a discount anything under 10 here. So Kentucky -9.5, big game breakdown from CT. Also, I got new shoes on today. I feel like I could fight Ali, so I'm feeling pretty good today. Just want to throw that out there.
Look good, play good, CT.
Yes, like that statement too. CT Bets, hey, good breakdown. And guys, come join us in the chat box, simulcast live right now on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Any questions you got from today's card? Also, anything you were looking to bet, we'll try to get it out here on the show. Trying to open it up to the chat box right now to take any questions before we get to best bets and quick Super Bowl looks here. But before we get to the chat box, CT Bets, I like your call. I mean, the Wildcats have won, 5 straight games against some good teams. You know, Alabama's a top team, Kansas as well. Talking to Alabama in the SEC. And Florida, you know, the games that they have won, that's what a lot of people are kind of pointing towards. Missouri, Ole Miss without Joyner. Joyner wasn't back for that game. Yeah. And Georgia, those are the 3 worst teams in the SEC. So this kind of win streak that Florida's on, I don't know if it's worth much. And Castleton's back, but only 1 game back, right? So it's not like they're fully back in it. So I like where you're going with that. The more talented team. The Gators are pretty good, though. I know you were talking about moving into the SEC. You think the Gators make the tournament when the season's over here?
I don't. I think they got to make a pretty deep run in the SEC tournament in order to get in. I can't see this team getting in. And before those 3 wins that you just rattled off, Drew, they played Oklahoma State before that. They beat Oklahoma State. Kelly and I follow the Big 12. Oklahoma State is god-awful this year, and the kids don't care. So I don't really count that as a big win either. So, yeah, those 4 wins really don't do much for me. I like Kentucky to take it to them today.
Okay, nice. And you bring up the SEC tournament there. Kelly, the SEC tournament is in Tampa, right? Are you planning on going to it?
I doubt it. I think I'm going to be in Key West. And then, as I mentioned, my sister's going to be here. Maybe my brother-in-law wants to go. I told him I would take him to O'Malley Arena, see a hockey game. We'll see. I could probably get tickets to the SEC tournament. I think I know a couple of guys that might invite me. But, yeah, as far as what CT is saying about the Gators, I have to kind of agree. I've watched a lot of Gator basketball this year, and unfortunately, they just are not a complete team, right? They have some moments of greatness, no doubt, where we've seen them. They're kind of like the football team, right? They show some moments of greatness and they fall flat on their face the following week. They just can't seem to put together any sort of real win streak over any significant teams in their conference.
Yeah, no, that's a good analogy there. The basketball and the football team, kind of a lot of same similarities. I'd like to think a better coached basketball team.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's no doubt. But I do think we may see that start to shift here pretty soon. I'm excited to see. Now his name escapes me, from ULL. He will be the new Gators football coach. And I think we'll see some things turn around for that team.
Yeah.
Napier, thank you.
Yeah. I think he's going to do good. I actually like that hire. KIV, do you?
Oh, I think it's going to be great. Listen, whenever you get a young coach that can recruit, that's going to keep some of the same styles that the boosters want. You know, it's similar to a K-State hire, right? Where they hired Chris Kleiman because he was Bill Snyder-esque, right? And this Billy Napier is going to be exactly what the boosters want. He's going to bring in some young talent, and he pushes the envelope. We saw him do it at ULL. He absolutely has not only the resources, the facilities to do it in Gainesville. I think that he's going to actually succeed really well here. Some of these younger guys tend to really flourish in some of these roles, and hopefully Billy does.
Yeah, I could see him doing very well as well, guys. So get into the chat box here, back to the basketball court. We got Andy asking about Alabama and Arkansas, this one in the SEC. 2 teams going up tempo, tell you that, Andy. Sidewise, I think Alabama, Trig, I know you know a lot about Alabama. Sidewise, they're the most difficult team in the country, in my opinion. Sometimes they show up and they can beat anybody. Sometimes they don't show up and they can lose to anybody. I will tell you this. I look to bet Alabama over the total, Andy. That's the way I would go here, especially because Arkansas is also a top 30 team in the country in terms of tempo. So I could see 80 possessions in this game. Anytime you're getting to 80 possessions, I look over. Trig, anything here?
Well, I mean, I fully expected to be on Alabama here, but I just can't do it at this number. I thought I was going to get a better number in this game. Like it's the perfect spot to go against Arkansas. Someone though tweeted at me, I forget who it was, but they made a good point, and they said, maybe like Rhode, Arkansas under Eric Musselman isn't like Rhode, Arkansas that we sort of like came to know as just a kind of a road fade. They've been better on the road since Musselman has taken over. So I'll acknowledge that, but it really would be a spot that I'd be trying to fade Arkansas after a huge win over Auburn. Alabama, I still think Alabama is better than we've seen this year, but I'm not laying 5. And of course, Alabama will probably come out and win by 20 today. But like, I just can't do it. I can't lay 5. But I'd be very wary of taking Arkansas plus the points because it's
off
like
that
a
big
consummate
win.
letdown. Yep.
I agree. Listen, I think if you like Alabama, though, Alabama just seems to come out of the gate firing. They seem to play a lot more complete in the first half. It's like the second half, they do the opposite of what they should be doing and making second half adjustments. They seem to fall flat. They get cold in the second half, and I'm not sure what that stems from. I have watched a lot of Alabama games as well. Trig, I'm with you. I don't want to lay 5 with Alabama. I can't trust this team.
Cal and CT, I feel like no firsthand. Like, you don't want that team on the line down the stretch trying to close out.
Not to cover a spread. Don't get me wrong. They can win this game by 10. But I don't want them up 4 with a minute left. That is for damn sure.
Clanking free throws and then making sure the game end lands 3. Yep, because that's what would probably happen.
Yeah, the weekly reminder to check the free throw percentages from each team. If you're laying points, Alabama, watch out there. That is a great point, guys. Alabama, just a team I found very difficult sidewise. Also, a huge shout out to the over 400 people watching live on YouTube. The WagerTalk YouTube channel alone. We got Rara, Brandon in the house firing in. Florida is not good, CT bets. So looking towards you.
Agreed.
Yeah. So we are agreeing with you here.
Drew, I think it's important to point out. So I see a lot of people in the chat saying that obviously they just announced LJ Cryer wasn't going to play. I think it's important to note, he hasn't played since January. So if that's and I'm not betting the side, but if that's your reasoning for taking Texas today, because they just announced LJ Cryer was out, that was already built into the line. He hasn't played in a very long time. So
and you should be getting a 6 with Texas because it's still available on the WagerTalk odds screen. I'm seeing some 5.5s out there, obviously due to that news. Sure. Now people are betting Texas, but make sure you guys get the best of the number.
Always good advice there from KIV. Killer asking about Davidson. Anybody liking Davidson? I haven't really bet much of Davidson this year, so I don't know if I'd jump in on them right now. Anybody got anything on them? Michigan State -4 versus Indiana. Houston -10. I mean, Houston, this team banged up and they're still winning. I watch out for Houston. Houston's a one-way team for me, Tac Man, and that's bet on. Anybody else with anything? Yeah.
I talked about Houston earlier in the week on one of the WagerTalk shows, and they're just a team like, if there was a spot to jump in to fade Houston, it was probably the other night with SMU. I don't know that I'd be like trying to bet against Houston off of that loss. You probably missed your chance to bet against Houston. I think the Davidson game. All I have on that is it looks like everyone is betting Davidson. And they're like a short dog on the road. I'd be weary there. It looks like it's just all Davidson money against Rhode Island.
Rhode Island there, Treg. That was one game I'm probably going to bet. I like Rhode Island's tough at home. Our good friend Julian Edlow, he went there. He texted me this morning. He likes that spot. Them getting 3. I'm on Rhode Island there.
Yeah, that's and then the one other I just want to address. So Kyle Zimmerman said, "Are we buying low on Oklahoma today?" I don't know. I feel like we bought low on Oklahoma earlier this week.
And look, they did what we needed them to do against a really good Tech team. I asking them to do that twice in a row, Trig.
Yeah, that's and if you remember, Kel, they gave Kansas a really good game earlier this year. I think it was a 3-point final. So I don't know that Kansas is going to take them lightly because historically Kansas Oklahoma is a pretty big deal. So that's a game that Kansas is typically going to get up for. And I think with Oklahoma having played them real tight earlier this year, I don't see Kansas just overlooking them really. That would be my concern. Can Oklahoma, like Kelly said, replicate that performance off of a huge win a couple nights ago? So I'd be weary there. Don't really have a lean either way, to be honest.
We got Paco saying Temple under today. Paco talking about, I've been riding this Temple under, guys. 6 straight unders, 9 of the last 10. You know my philosophy here. The trend is your friend in sports betting, stock investing.
The trend is your friend, Drew.
Bet the under in Temple, guys. 134 today versus Tulane in the Big Easy. I'm on the under in the Temple game. Good call there, Paco. Going down the list here, Florida State, UNC, 5 straight losses for the Seminoles. UNC not having the greatest of years. That's kind of an interesting one in the ACC. If anybody's got anything there, Kerry's saying he's going for Houston all the way to the Final Four. What do I think? I think I'm not stepping in front of Houston. Well coached, good defense, efficient on the offensive end. I like where your head's at there. The only problem is their best player, or one of their best players, Sasser, he's out for the season. So in kind of close games in the tournament, we'll see what happens. Rutgers, Wisconsin. James, giving you props here on Sienna Trig. Before we get to Super Bowl kind of looks here, guys, any other college basketball games you wanted to go over before we keep in mind we got best bets at the end of the show?
I got one. I wanted to see what Kelly thought of it because I'm looking at the WagerTalk odds screen right now and a Big 12 game here. I kind of like West Virginia getting the points here. I don't know. I mean, they lost like 7 straight, finally got right. They got Sherman back this week, had a nice win. Treg and I were on them there. I kind of like them getting the points here. Huggins never gives up, right? And they could still make a run in the Big 12 tournament, probably a long shot to make the big dance, but he always has those kids playing hard and they love playing for him. So I don't know. That might be worth a look, Kel. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Kel.
No, go ahead. I'm still looking up something in
to
regards
all I'm going to say is it wasn't one that I sort of jumped out at me, but I definitely agree with Chris. Last Saturday, West Virginia probably outplayed Texas Tech, but they shot 12% in the second half. They were up 6 at halftime and just couldn't make a shot.
Yeah.
But from a gameplay standpoint, I watched every minute of that game. I really do think West Virginia was probably the better team, and they just could not figure out how to put that orange ball into the cylinder thing that you actually have to do to win the game. Now, they also didn't have Sherman in that game. They got him back earlier this week, and I actually for a team that kind of struggles a little bit offensively, getting him back and his 18 points a game or whatever it is, really can't be understated. Obviously, West Virginia looked great earlier in the week against Iowa State. So, yeah, I mean, I think I'm always a little weary of them on the road, but, I think we've all kind of agreed that Oklahoma State is out there sort of just going through the motions. That's definitely a team I could see saying, yeah, they don't care overly as much. I think obviously the postseason ban is the reason for that. So yeah, it seems like the right side in that game. I would say West Virginia is worth a look.
I'm with you, Trig. One stat I really like in this matchup is West Virginia. Yes, they've lost how many? 6 of the last 7, 7 of the last 8, something like that. So it's kind of a team where you want to watch out betting, big on. But at the same time, they did win their last game against Iowa State. And here's the stat I really like in this matchup. Oklahoma State this year, their turnover percentage on offense is one of the worst in the country, meaning their ball handlers just really aren't that talented. And West Virginia is the wrong kind of defense you want to be doing that with if you don't have good ball handlers because they turn their opponents over a lot. Sure enough, the last time they played Oklahoma State, West Virginia won by 10 points. Now, granted, this one's on the road, but still, I like the Mountaineers here, mainly because of that matchup, their defense versus teams that don't have good ball handlers, and that is the Cowboys. So that's why I like West Virginia. Kelly, did you have any kind of final thoughts here?
No, you guys nailed it. Chris said this earlier. Oklahoma State is just not a great team. While I've been on them in a couple of spots with too many points, I don't trust them as a favorite here. West Virginia, on the flip side, not great on the road. I do think they have the coaching edge, obviously, with Bob Huggins. I think it's probably too many points. I may look to maybe bet this one in game. We'll see how it plays out. I just don't trust either team, to be honest with you.
Okay. The Big 12 insider, KIV. We got CT Bets as well, the Baylor alum. We're represented here in the Big 12. Unfortunately, we don't got any Big 10 here talking about the 3 big basketball conferences here. Would you guys say the Big 12 is the best, or would you say the SEC?
I think depth-wise, the Big 12 is a gauntlet this year. I honestly would say that, where I think there's 4 or 5 really solid teams in the SEC. I think there's 5 or 6 really solid teams in the Big 12. Unfortunately, for my Kansas State Wildcats, that puts them towards the bottom, even though they're, 12-11 on the season. They haven't been terrible. They haven't been great either because they have to play teams like Texas, Baylor, Texas Tech, KU. We've also got a pretty solid TCU team, as I mentioned earlier, that kind of came out of nowhere. And look, there's 6 or 7 teams better than my Wildcats, to say the least.
I've been really impressed with, and I know we had Oklahoma earlier this week over Tech. I've been really impressed with the way Mark Adams has that team playing. I thought after Beard left, like I thought the kids would be all pissed off. Well, obviously they're all pissed off. They're playing well, but I told Trig the other day, they've really, really impressed me. I think they can make a pretty deep run in the tournament again this year.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. And Trig, that we got some guys in here saying Big East, maybe. Do you think, chime in here on the best conference or one of the best conferences?
Well, I'll tell you what's not the best conference, Drew. That's the Big East. That's not the best conference. I don't know why how that's even in the conversation, to be honest with you. I thought coming into the season, the Big Ten was loaded. Obviously, the Big 12 at the top is awesome. As you get down the ladder in the Big 12, there's a drop off. But at the top of those conferences, the SEC is obviously really good. Pac-12, I talked to Chris about this the other day. I said, Chris, there's 5 legit teams in the Pac-12, and the other 7 should be 12. That's how I honestly look at the Pac-12. Once you get past UCLA, USC, Washington State, Arizona, and who's the other? Oregon. 6 through 12 all suck. They all suck, in my opinion. If your number 6 is Washington, they could easily be the worst team in that. It's just shaken out in their favor. So, beware. I see a massive drop off after the top 5 there. I still think I still feel like a little bit of a Big Ten guy. Every year I'm it's the Big Ten. They're the best. So, but that doesn't always kind of pan out. You get to the tournament and that doesn't always sort of mean that's going to be the case. But I would say deepest conference right now, I have to say the Big Ten, because you've got teams like Penn State, Rutgers, that are really capable of playing with good teams. Even look at Michigan. Michigan's really they shouldn't be a bad basketball team by any means, but they've just gotten kind of swallowed up by the Big Ten being as good as they are. So I'll have to say Big Ten still, but there's some other conferences that have a lot of potential.
Paco in here saying Mountain West as well. Yeah, they got a lot of good teams. Might get 4 into the tournament. I like that Wyoming team, guys. Trig, I really do.
They keep
why
winning.
don't we talk about that game, Trig? Why don't we stay on the Big Ten? Curious to see what you guys think, because I don't really know. Michigan, after coming off that huge win off of Purdue this week, now they're at home, right? Now they're get Ohio State coming to town. What do you guys think here? I don't know.
Don't be afraid to fade yourself, game. Remember, we talked about this, CT. We said this. One of our favorite things is betting against ranked teams catching points. And guess what? That narrative has just been destroyed this year. So I first look at that, I'm like, I'm going to bet Michigan today. No, I'm going to fade myself because this is an Ohio State team that is really solid. They choked that win. I will take it. Yeah. I got the Rutgers +3. I will take it. But they were up 10 late in the game. I said, turn this shit off. I'm pissed off. Screw Rutgers. And guess what? Ohio State choked it away. Rutgers made their free throws, played some good defense, and got the win. I like Juwan Howard. I think he's going to be okay in Michigan, but I think he needs some more time with this team. I don't think they're very disciplined, and I think that Ohio State is the better team here. Michigan doesn't have some great home court advantage like people would tend to think so. I give them a 3-point home court advantage. That makes them neutral on a neutral court. Pick them? I don't think so. Ohio State's a better team here.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I've had a good luck fading Michigan this year. A lot of luck on Tuesday with that Penn State 3 at the buzzer to get the win there. But Ohio State is not a team. They're kind of like a in the fade column for me still as well. But man, coming off of that loss, Michigan coming off the win, I would probably lean Ohio State, but I just don't I don't love either of these teams. They're 2 teams I probably would more or less look to fade. So I'll probably just bet one of the other 150 games on the board today.
Definitely. Yeah. Near 120, I believe. There's a ton of games, guys. I mean, Saturday's college basketball in February. I really think you can make the argument these Saturdays are the best days of the calendar year to make money, to have an advantage over the odds makers. So hopefully it works out that way for us. We got best bets coming up. We got people asking about the ACC games. Talk about Duke here. Duke on the road at BC. Duke's the only way I would look. The only problem is laying doubles on the road up at Boston College. That kind of just a little iffy about that one. Also a big one, Wake and Miami in the ACC as well. Two teams going to try to vie here to make the big dance. Two teams I'm looking to bet on, guys. I like both of these two teams, the Demon Deacons and the U. So it's kind of a tough one for me. I'd probably take the points here with Miami, although I'm not really looking to step in front of Wake. We also want to get to the Super Bowl. We got a little special section here on Saturdays. We're going to go around the horn real quick and see what everybody likes to do on Super Bowl Sunday, if there's any traditions we want to throw out there. Also, reminder here, guys, we are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, refreshing and drinkable hard seltzer, 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 4.5% ABV. Use the coupon code HUSTLE at checkout on the Viva Tequila Seltzer website for 10% off. We got Super Bowl plans, any yearly rituals or traditions going around the horn here. I used to love to go to Super Bowl parties, live it up, have a lot of fun. Last year, I actually just kind of sat on the couch and watched the game in and out, watched all the commercials, and I really enjoyed it. So unless I get invited here to a monster outdoor, really fun Super Bowl party, guys, that's what I'm probably going to do tomorrow as well. So that's my Super Bowl tradition. But also one tradition that I've got into the last couple years from a betting standpoint, the bet punt before score, guys. The slow start on offense, that's what I'm doing again. I had to pay minus 120 this year. Before it used to be in the plus, like plus 110, plus 105. So the books are catching on to it, but still I like it. Minus 120, either team, whoever gets the ball, to punt before they score. Something that I've noticed in Super Bowls, it's a slow start here. So that's one tradition I like from a betting standpoint, but I'll probably be watching it on my couch here. Kelly Stewart, I know you were talking about having a party. What about Super Bowl traditions for you?
Yeah, look, Drew, I never get the Super Bowl off. I always have to work. So this first year, I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm going to have a party. One of my girlfriends, her boyfriend was like, oh, we're not doing a Super Bowl party. I'm like, fine, we'll do a Super Bowl party. So after this, I'm going to go to the grocery store, get everything prepped. Got to go get some beer for the people that don't want to drink Vivas. And, just have a good time. I'm excited. I haven't hosted a party since my birthday, Thanksgiving, a year and a half ago. So I'm ready to kind of, put on a little show. Unfortunately for myself, as I mentioned, I'm not drinking, but I want to make sure everybody else has a great time. I don't know. Is Trig driving up to my house? I'm not sure if he is or not. But if he does, Drew, you guys should get in the car and just make a day of it.
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, Kel, it's going to be a game time decision for me. If Mal gives it the okay, we'll probably take a ride up. But this is like going to be the most miserable take ever. Like the Super Bowl is like just another game. Weird. For me, like it doesn't. I don't like if there's a party, I'll go to it. But it really is. It's just another game. Like that's probably years of like the betting sports. It's just like I don't know. I'll probably be more excited to bet college basketball on Sunday. I'm not even like this Super Bowl in particular. I'm not just like in love with it. Like last year, I was talking to Chris about this. Like weeks before the Super Bowl, we're like, we love the Bucks. We love the Bucks. We like and like this year. I'm just like not. So it's just another game. I don't know. It's like another game that's on. Like it's like miserable.
I think John Murray said it best. If this was a Sunday morning game, week 5, would it be on your TV? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, exactly. Like,
and also the Rams would be like a 6.5 point favorite at home. So it's just a complete and utter mind fuck for me. I don't love this game whatsoever. I did play some props. And I'm way overextended on Super Bowl squares. What is wrong with me? I gotta stop saying yes to random people and their $500 Super Bowl squares. I'll tell you that much. Joe Biden's going to get me on that Venmo, PayPal, Cash App thing because that's all I've been doing is sending nickels around to all of my friends who are like, join my Super Bowl squares. And then I'm going to lose all of them because I have horrible numbers like 2 and 8.
Oh, Kelly in Vegas talking about, hey, we're even getting Joe Biden. We got the over on 1.5 F-bombs by Kelly in Vegas herself. It just hit with that monologue. So good stuff from KIV. CT Bets, what do you got for tradition Super Bowl?
Yeah, Drew, I think I'll just touch on that Alvin was asking about that Duke BC game. And I know you talked a little bit about it. I was actually going to go to that game, but turns out I can't make it. I would only look Duke as well, but I'm not in a rush to go lay 13.5. There is no home court advantage at all for Boston College, just to let everybody know. There is nobody that goes to those games. They'll be lucky to have 500 people there today, and they will all be masked up. So that's a game that I am not touching. But Super Bowl Sunday, Drew Martin Bets, probably one of my favorite days of the year. I go to the sports bar with Horse and South. 11:30 a.m. They get to my house. We're going to the Omni Seaport Hotel, which has the sporting club bar in it, which is an awesome sports bar. They carry Viva. We're going to be there from 12 to around 4 o'clock, whacking Vivas, whacking college hoops games, go back to my house, and Mrs. Bear cooks up a ton of stuff, and we trash the place, and I yell and scream all night long. Love the Super Bowl.
Love it, CT Bets. Hope you enjoy, man. And we got Anthony in here saying tradition, no work school on Monday. Actually, guys, this is one thing. If I become president, or CT Bets, Trig, KIV, any of us become president and we have our administration there, this is one I want to run with. Make the day after the Super Bowl national holiday and call it America's Day. I am telling you, that would kill it, guys. The day after the Super Bowl, no work. It's a holiday.
Why don't we just put Super Bowl Sunday the Sunday before President's Day?
That's a good idea,
anything like that works.
I mean, then you could just call it whatever you want to call it. Drew, side note on that. Did you see the kid in Florida who is petitioning to move the Super Bowl to a Saturday since they all have to go to school on Mondays?
No, but I love it. That would work too.
I think he's like 17. He started this petition. It's like, it's never going to happen, but I thought it was like kind of cute. I was like, oh, I don't blame you guys. I remember not drinking, obviously, but still being like hungover because, you know, you stay up with your parents and everybody to watch the game and you get 4 hours of sleep or whatever it is and have to go to school the next day.
Yeah, no, I just think we're way behind on like holidays too. Like after living in Costa Rica, you know, they have like twice as many days off, like holidays as us. Like down
I
there
actually
in
think
Central
most
America.
countries do. I think we're like the most overworked country, which is probably why we're all a bunch of miserable fucks.
Actually, you might be onto something.
Actually, for sure.
We need more days off.
Definitely.
Awesome, guys. Great show overall. We got best bets coming up. Huge shout out to the chat box, Abby Jackson, Paco Healy, Anthony, all the VIPs in here, Carrie, Talvi as well. Thank you for joining us live each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be breaking down college basketball throughout March Madness. We got Wednesday night show, 6 p.m. Eastern. Simulcast live on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, also brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer. If you haven't tried out a Viva, you need to check it out, vivatequilaseltzer.com. Also remember, hustle. It's just hustle as the promo code. It takes 10% off of your order there. Can ship to any of the continental U.S. states there. So going around the horn here, best bets, CT Bets. Follow them on Twitter at CTBets16. Hopefully we get a hula here. Where are you going for best bets, buddy?
Yeah, Drew Martin Bets. Everybody knows I've gotten out on all the shows I've been out this week. It's Rams -4 is my best bet. No analysis needed. I gave it all week long. Listen, Drew Martin Bets never told the three of you guys this, but this is something crazy. Only my brother knows. Sometimes, as screwed up as my head works, and I'm like when I go to bed, I'm thinking about all kinds of shit, right, Drew Martin Bets? Sometimes God lets me have a dream, okay? And I have a dream about a game. It's usually been pretty good, Drew Martin Bets. God told me that the Rams are going to win by 10 points. Just saying, Drew Martin Bets.
Did you bet an exact on it?
Yeah, I did, of course. You have to.
Okay.
Rams -4, best bet.
All right. I'm not one to disagree with that statement there, guys. So check them out on Twitter at CTBets16 if you want to holler at them. Rams winning by 10 points. Maybe sprinkle a little bit there on the exacta. We got Kelly Stewart. If you are not following her on Twitter, you're probably watching the wrong show. At Kelly in Vegas. Kelly, what do we got for best bets?
I can't decide, Drew. I put out my college basketball card.
We can come back if you want.
No, I'm just going to rattle it off. I put out my college basketball card on Twitter. I do like Texas. I sprinkled a little bit on the money line. I do like Butler, sprinkled a little bit on the money line. And I do like poop sandwich or whatever Megan making money calls Adams plays. Georgetown. I think that's what she said this morning. She goes, I just got a poop sandwich email from Adam and I about fell out of my chair because
great.
It's true. Adam and the Fade, you guys love to sift through the muck. I do like Georgetown, and I think they have a good shot to try to get their first W. We'll see in Big East play. That being said, my best bet for this weekend is over 3.5 field goals tomorrow in the Super Bowl. Sorry, CT. God came to me in my dream last night and told me it was going to be a big kicking is for losers moment, and I hope both teams lose. I hope it's like a 10-7 final. I don't think I have 0-7 in the Super Bowl. Hold on. I'd like it to be a 10-2. Maybe it can be a 10-2 final. There we go. I have a 0-2. What kind of Super Bowl squares are these? And people are like, oh, I'll send you the video if you want to see how it's picked. Yeah, right. No, I don't want to see the video of how many times you randomized this thing. You should have randomized it 4 times, not 5. Sorry, that's my Super Bowl squares rant. I'm tired of donating because I haven't won since 0-0 Pat's Rams Super Bowl, which was great because I didn't win not only once, but I won twice. I hope it's a snooze fest tomorrow, and everybody wants to go home early from my house so I can go to bed early.
I like it. Good stuff from KIV. Guys, for my best bet, I'm going to Ole Miss. You can get +1 on Ole Miss or pick them at most shops. So I'll go widely available here. Ole Miss at the pick 'em price at Missouri. Missouri, the worst offensive team in the SEC. Plus the real thing here, betting on Kermit Davis's team with their best player. Joyner is back in the lineup. This will be his 3rd game back. I think we're buying low on Ole Miss. So I'm pick 'em price, pick the winner here, Ole Miss and Missouri for my best bet. I am on Ole Miss at the pick 'em price, hottie toddy today. Adam Trigger at Top Flight SI. What do we got for best bets? Final thoughts here, buddy.
Yeah, well, someone tweeted at us this morning, which I thought was hilarious. I wonder if God would mind if I turn this on during my nephew's baptism. I thought that was great. I retweeted it. Yeah, I like Georgetown's probably, it's going to be my best bet as far as the show is concerned. But I'm just going to rattle off a couple of sides that I know are sharp, just to give you some other direction for the day. I know a group hit Seton Hall. That's rotation. I think they're like +9. That's rotation number 611. They also took Brown plus the points against Cornell. That's rotation 623. And there's a couple more. Hold on a second. I just got to find them in the slew of games today.
While he's looking through those, Alex H., I like him. He said the same thing happens with him, with God in the games. Alex H., DM me. I'm going to send you a T-shirt for the hustle. DM me.
I love that.
He's saying 27-10 though. So
yeah, that's all right.
You guys have
that's fine. As long as Rams win by more than 4, I'm good with whatever the score is.
Okay.
All right. So, and I'll give out one more sharp side today. They took Clemson against Notre Dame. Someone asked for ACC opinions earlier, and there's definitely some sharp buying going on Clemson. Interesting. I didn't see that one coming. But they are betting Clemson at home against Notre Dame. So Georgetown, one of my best bets today, and then there's a couple other sides if you want to get involved. I think I said Seton Hall, Brown, Clemson, all definitely getting some sharp love.
Okay, good stuff, guys. And enjoy the UFC match tonight. Enjoy the college basketball card today and the Super Bowl tomorrow. Hopefully you have a great weekend. We will be back on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. If you're tailing the best bets, best of luck. Hopefully 4-0, if not 3-1 for CT Bets. Kelly Stewart, Adam Trigger. I am Drew Martin. Remember, we're brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer. Our belief is to live long, live well, and to live it up. Hashtag Viva Up. Guys, check out WagerTalk.com, the odds screen, the best free live odds in the industry. Also, a lot of free plays up there. WagerTalk.com for the Super Bowl tomorrow. You're looking to bet props, sides, totals. WagerTalk's got you covered. So, guys,
I'd like to add to that. Everybody, please go follow the WagerTalk IG at WagerTalk on Instagram. Giving out all the free play videos there. Ruby is just absolutely killing it. So please, I'd like to give her a little bit of love so that she can, get a little pat on the back from me, maybe Johnny Detroit, for doing such a great job over there on that Instagram page.